Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second installment of Clay Loves Logic, where on this channel I solve various logic puzzles, Sudoku puzzles, and anything in that realm I find interesting. Today, we're going to be doing the puzzle called Echo Through the Fog by Meggen033. Now, this is a fog of war puzzle, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. But for now, let's read the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. You have to have the digits 1 to 9 in each box, in each row, and in each column. What else do we learn about this? There is one and only one gray palindrome line, which reads the same forwards and backwards. So that's interesting, and I'll tell you why in a second. I can already see a couple things, but we're going to move on first. Digits in a cage do not repeat and sum to the clue in the top left. So you'll see here, these two cells do not repeat the digits, and they sum to 8. These two sum to 14. I'm sure there'll be more under the fog. What else do we know? A white dot between cells indicates cells with consecutive digits. So if this is a 1, this would be a 2 and a 3. This was a 2, 3, 4, and so on. The grid is partially covered in fog. Correctly placing digits will clear fog around that cell. If we knew what this cell was, we would clear this fog, and we'd unveil more things about the puzzle. So a palindrome line, and we're told there's one and only one. They emphasize that. So what that means is this digit is one end of the palindrome. And I know we just did a coloring puzzle. I don't think this is going to be a coloring puzzle, but I'm just going to color this to illustrate. Let's go green. So this is the start of the palindrome. Well, that means this is the end of the palindrome, which means they're the same digit. And that's going to mean that these two are the same digits and that these are the same digit. And again, we're not going to color everything. I'm just illustrating that somewhere, who knows where, these two things, these two ends of the palindrome will meet up. But until they do, we're sort of in this world of pairs where, you know, this is the same as this, which is the same as this, so on and so forth. And that's immediately going to be interesting for these two cages, because when you're looking at a 14 cage, these two digits have to sum to 14. Well, how can you do that? Well, if you look at the digits 1 to 9, the standard Sudoku digits, you can't use 7 and 7. It's the same digit, it would repeat. So you're left with the options of 5 and 9, or you're left with the options of 6 and 8. Well, green is also in an 8 cage. So green could never be 9, and green couldn't be 8, because 9 plus nothing would get to 8. You'd have to subtract, and 8 is already 8. We have to put something else in the cage. So this can only be 5 and 6, which means orange can only be 8 or 9. Now, if we look at this pink digit, it has to sum to 8 to go along with its green pair. So it has to be 2 or 3. And this is immediately interesting because of these dots. What a beautiful break-in. So could this ever be 9? This would have to be 8. This would have to be 7. It's not possible. This has to be 8. This has to be 7, so that this is 6. And if we're right when we type in 8, we should reveal all of this fog. Ha! We are right. 7, 6. And our palindrome knows this is 6. And this has to be 2, so that these sum to 8. And this has to be 2, because of the palindrome. So I'm going to clear the colors now, and we're just going to remember where we're at in the palindrome. So now we have a 5 cage. And, sorry, let's not get ahead of ourselves. 6 plus 8 is 14. We can put that in. Okay, now we have a 5 cage. And 5, as we learned in our last episode, you can only get there with 1 and 4 and 2 and 3. Some knowledge for you. And of course, we see the 2. This can't be a 2-3 pair. It has to be 1 and 4. Which would mean that this has to be 1 and 4 because of palindrome. And that's immediately interesting because this is in an 8 cage. Well, if this is 4, what do you pair with it to get 8? Nothing. You can't have 2 4s. This has to be a 1. Which means this is a 1, oops, and this is a 4. And this now has to be a 7, And we keep going. Now we have a 6 cage. Now in Sudoku, you can make a 6 with 1, 5, or 2 and 4. And that's interesting because this digit is the same as this digit. And we said we could do it with 1 and 5 or 2 and 4. Well, this digit sees 1, 2, and 4. Has to be 5. So this has to be 5, which makes this a 1. Wow, we are just flying through this puzzle. Okay, what's next? I guess maybe we look at this 12 cage. Maybe not. 12 could be quite a few different digits. It certainly couldn't be 1 or 2. There's not a digit high enough. 10 is not a valid Sudoku digit, neither is 11. So we'd have to start at 3. So our options are 3 and 9. I don't see anything wrong with that. 4 and 8, which would be fine if this was the 4 and this was the 8. 5 and 7 is not going to work. And then 6 and 6. So we get 3, 9, and 4 and 8 are the only options. Actually, that's not a terrible place to start. 3, 9, 4, and 8. Take the 8 out of this one, which means we remove the 4. So this can only be 3, 4, or 9. And actually, that is interesting because this digit is the same as this digit. And this digit is on a crop key dot, which means it's consecutive. So if this is a 3, this would have to be a 2 or a 4. Well, it can't be a 2 or a 4 because they're both already in this row. If it was a 4, it would have to be 3 or 5. And it can't be a 5. It could be a 3. So we know that this isn't a 3 now, which means this isn't a 3, which means this isn't a 9. So what's next? This 4, 9 could only be 3 or 8. Okay. Where do we go from here? What are we not seeing yet? I guess, what do we need here? We need 3. Oh, this has to be a 5 because we need a 5 in this box and it sees that. I don't think that's going to be incredibly helpful yet, but it might. Oh, that is going to be helpful. That's going to be really helpful. We need a 3 in this box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. And the fact that we have a 3 and a 9 here removes this ability to be 3. This now has to be an 8. This has to be a 9. This is a 9. This is a 3. Wow. Awesome. Oh, and this is a naked single. What is it? 7. Okay. Excellent. What's next? We have an 11 cage. Maybe we should turn our attention there. Again, we know that we can't have a 1 in here. And because of this 9, we can't have a 2-9 pair. Because of this 3, we can't have a 3-8 pair. So that leaves us with 4, 7, only in this order, or 5 and 6. This digit is the same as this digit. So it can only be 4, 5, or 6, and it can't be 5. So this can't be 5. This can't be 6. This is on a crop key. So if this was a 4, this would have to be 3 or 5, and it sees both. Oh, I love this puzzle. This is a 6. So this is a 6. This is a 5. Now, 6 on a white crop key dot is 5 or 7. Can't be 5 because it's already in this box. This is a 7. Great. Now, what do we get? There's a whole bunch of palindrome things happening now. There's a lot going on here. We might elect to color again. But surprisingly, I don't think that's where we have to put our focus now. Maybe we look at this 12 gauge. It seems like there's a lot going on here now. We're going to have a 3 or a 9 here, which means this 12 gauge could never be 3 or 9. It also couldn't have a 1 in it, which we know it never could, nor could it ever have a 2. So our combinations with which we can make 12 are going to be 4 and 8, and 5 and 7. And it can't be a 5 because there's a 5 there. Is that it, really? It can't be 3, 9, 4, 8, 5, 7. Yeah, can't be double 6. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, I can see that that's going to put a 4 down here. It's also going to put an 8 down here. I don't think that's incredibly useful yet, but it is good to know. Okay, so where do we go from here? We're going to need a 1 over here because it can't be there. That's going to put a 1 here. Not terribly useful yet. What else do we need in here? We need a 2. Okay, that's going to have to live here, which means there'll have to be a 2 there. 1, 2, 3. We're going to need a 4 with no restriction. 5, 6, 7, and an 8. Wow. That gives us a naked single that actually resolves the 12 cage, right? We can't have a 1 here because of this one. We can't have a 2 here because of this 2. We can't have an 8 here. So this is a 4 now. Which is going to remove all of that. So that's 8. That's 4. It's going to give us a 2. And wow, we have so much palindrome now. Okay. Interesting. So maybe we will start to look at the palindrome again. We know that this digit is the same as this digit. What can this be? This could be a 1. This could be a 3. It can't be a 4. Can't be a 5. Can't be a 6. Can't be a 7. Can't be an 8. Can't be a 9. Wait. Yeah, it can't. So it's only 1 or 3. Okay. Interesting enough. Sorry, I had to throw my dog's toy. She loves to play fetch when I'm at my computer. Okay, what's next? I don't know if it's the palindrome yet, although this is really getting a big palindrome. Okay, what do we need here? 1, 2, we'll need a 3 up here. We will need a 4. Where can 4 be? Anywhere there. Need a 5 in this part of it. 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 in one of these. Not terribly interesting just yet. 6, 6. We need a 6 up here. 1, 1. We need a 1 up here. And then we'll need a 2 in the middle. Not terribly interesting yet. There's going to be a 1 down there. There's going to be... Okay, actually, there you go. There's a digit. We're 7 in box 5. It's not in this row because of this, and it's not here because of this. So that gives us, this is a 7. And that is interesting for the reasons I will tell you, which I don't particularly know yet. Let's look at this row. What do we need? We need a 1, an 8, and a 2. So 1, 2, 8. Oh, this can't be a 1 or an 8 because of the 1 and the 8 that's in this box. We have a 2. That's a naked single. Okay, now we start to wonder, where is this one's friend? I don't know yet, but we'll remember that. We do have another digit of the palindrome. If we look at this row, 1, 2, we need a 3, a 6, a 3, 6, and a 7. And well, we can't have a 6 in here. This has to be a 6. So then this is a 3 and a 7, which means that's a 7 and that's 3, which finally resolves this palindrome. This has to be a 1, which means this is a 1, and we get a few more digits. We can clear up some things. Okay, next is going to be these two digits, which are the same. What do we need in this here. We need a 2. Oh, well, that's going to solve it, right? We need a 2 in this box. If this is a 2, it means this is a 2. This can't be a 2 because there's a 2 here. So this is a 2. And I wonder if this is the end of the palindrome. That would be my guess, just because these are the same digit. I bet you they start to work out, but we'll figure that out later. So what is this? 1, 2, 3. This is a 4, which means this is a 4. Okay. So what else do we need in this row now? We're going to need a 3, a 5, and 2, right? 1, 3, oops. 2, not 2. There's a 2 right there. Silly of me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 6. 3, 5, 6. 3, 5, and 6. Which means this digit is from 3, 5, and 6. And it can't be from 3 or 6 because of that. So this digit is a 5, which means this is a 5. And this is going to be our 3. This is a 9. I should turn this auto check off. It's unnecessary. Yeah, I should turn that off. I'll do that for the next video. I forgot it wasn't relevant when I was doing the Colorado one because I put all the digits in at the end. But in this one, it's yeah, I'll get rid of that. Okay, what do we need up here? We need a 1, 6, and a 9, and this can't be 9, so there's a 9 here or here. Oh, and this is a 6. We can clear some fog. Nice. Okay, awesome. What do we get in this row? It's probably not where I meant to look, but it's where I want to look. 1, 2, we'll need a 3, and we'll need a 4. And I can already tell you this is now a 2 because, look, there's a 3 and a 4 here. This is not 2. This is 3, 4. This is 2. Okay. Maybe let's look at this now. Down here, what do we need? We need a 1, a 9. Oops, not a 0. A 1, a 9, and a 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6. 1, 9, and a not a 6. Wow, why do I keep doing that? 1, 9, and 8. Which means this is never going to be a 2 anymore. This is a 1, 9, or 8. And it's not 1. This is 8 or 9. This is not 1. This is 8 or 9. Okay. So these digits are the same, and there's a crop key dot here. Does that mean we know this now? I might color just briefly here to see where this goes. I just want to trace it quickly. These would be the same, and then these would be the same. And then, I mean, you can see that's where it goes. Oh, wait, oh, whoops. Those would be the same, yeah. And then these would be the same. I was right. The 2s are the same. This is the end of the palindrome. That's interesting. Well, this can't be a 7. So that removes this one's ability to be a 7. Oh, so that's a, no, I don't know if that's a 1, 7 pair. Well, this can't be 1, 7. And this can't be 1 because of this. And it can't be 7 because of that. This is a 1, 7 pair. Interesting. Okay. So what do we need in here? We need 1, 2. We have 1, 2. We need 3, 5, and 9. And I know that 5 can't be in the middle. Let's remove it. And then here, this is the same as that. So it can only be 3 or 9. Okay, if we look at this row, we'll need, or no, let's look down here. 1, 2, we're going to need a 3. And we're going to need 4, 5, 6, 3, and 7. Here, we'll need 2, 8, and 9. Here, what about this? We know there's a dot, so there's an even digit here. You always have to have an even digit when you have 2 consecutive numbers, of course, because one of them has to be even. Can't be 6 and can't be 8. So this even digit is 2 or 4, which means this would be 1 and 2, which it can't be, 2 or 3, which it could be, 3 or 4, which it could be, and it can't be 4 or 5. So just like that, we have a naked single. This is 2, 3, 4, and actually this can't be 2. So this is 2. So, okay, let me explain that. Let me slow down. This is a 2, 3, 4 triple. Now, the even digit on this has to be 2 because if the even digit's 4, its complement is 3, and this can only be 4 or 3. So this is 2, 3, which means we can remove 4 from it, and we'll get a 4, and we'll get a 3. And then that means we get a 9, we get a 9. We get a 3, we get a 1, we get a 9, we get a 9, we get an 8, which gives us an 8, gives us a 1. A 7 will clear some fog. A 1. 3 does the 7. Love that. Okay, that's not a 9. That's not a 9. That's not an 8. That's not an 8. This is a 2, which means this is a 2. And this is 3. We got a 9 here. That's a 2. This is a naked single. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 7. And this is almost done. What do we need? 1, 2, 3. We need a 4 and a 6, right? That's all. And this 6 means this is 6. So this is 6. So this is 4. So this is 4. This now has to be 8. This is a 3, 5 pair with this. It has to be 3. That's 5. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need a 5, which is here. And our last digit is a 9. Wow. What a great puzzle. Heartiest congratulations. You did it. 21 minutes. This puzzle's been out for 78.6 days, and 3,574 people have solved it, and I am very happy to be one of them. I do like this puzzle. This was a lot of fun. I like the idea that the break-in being that, we're told that there's only one palindrome and we can immediately just start going, solving from there. Wow, that was a great puzzle. Thanks for joining me on the second episode of Clay Loves Logic. If there's a puzzle you want to see, feel free to suggest it and I'll give it a crack. Thanks, everyone.